How's it going, guys? RAGInxxC here with another deck profile video. The last one we did was Matuska's deck from the tournament and from a game before. That deck was pretty good. This is our other one that we have built that did alright that y'all wanted to see. Y'all had asked for it in a previous battle video, but y'all are seeing it. It was one of the first decks in the first video in the tournament. This is probably halfway through the tournament by now, so y'all have seen it one or two times. So, this is a Trox deck, pretty much. Matuska helped me build this. He pretty much did all the work on it. I changed maybe like 2 things or something. But he wanted to make me something for Trox, so we came up with this with Ventus Mantinoid in it as well. Ventus Mantinoid is a really good Bakugan, so if you're playing Ventus, that's a good idea to have him in there. So, the cores are just kind of random, but it's a lot of helix. So we have different helixes here. The 300 helix with the +3 is really good. And then this one I wanted because that -100 can really throw off your opponent a little bit. Seems like not a lot, but it really does. And then the +4, if I land on it, I could normally work around to get to where I win and get that bonus for myself. So that, and then a shield, so 650 of course, and then a red shield for 300. And then this green fist is just a nice little, it's the, the best green fist. So anyway, Matuska's here. He's going to help me out, and we're going to get into this deck. So Ventus stuff first.
Double nature power.
Double nature power. So it's the best, green 1 cost.
1 -500 to a non-Ventus.
Yeah. So is it the best turn 1 card? The best 1 energy card?
It's the most for 1 energy.
Yeah. So it's really powerful. Probably up that to 3 if you're thinking about playing this deck.
Yeah.
It's a very good card.
I think we only have 2 copies.
Yeah, we might only have 2 copies. That's why that's a thing. But yeah, very good starting Ventus card. If you get that on turn 1, you should feel comfortable.
Yeah. Next is 3 turn 2 energy.
My favorite Ventus card, just because of the utility of it. Obviously it gives you an extra energy. But like earlier I was playing today and I played it. I got an extra energy, and that put me up after I knew that I lost. And then my first flip was Tiger Reflex, which we'll talk about earlier. And so I was already up. So it was nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 3 copies of Piercing Scream.
Piercing Scream.
Everybody has the 2 for +400.
Yeah.
But Ventus is the opposite. So
yeah.
2 for
take it away from him.
-400.
I mean, it sucks against Shadow Strike or whatever, but there's other things to get around it in this deck. So Piercing Scream's nice for 2, for sure.
For the last of the Ventus action cards, 3 copies of Shell Shield. Basically, can't play a flip, play a Shell Shield.
Yeah. So I mean, for this deck, it subtracts 6. So it's a nice little shield card. And then of course, if you're playing Pyrus, it gives you a little help, because this deck, I will say that this deck, it didn't really have to happen in the tournament, but this deck does not fare well against Pyrus in other testing, besides this being the only help there, because this does have 1/1/1 attack. So I will say that again for this deck, but the rest of it's relatively nice.
You will not win in less than 10 turns in this deck.
Right. This takes a while.
To start the Darkus cards, we have 2 copies of Garganoid's Gaze.
Getting rid of those heroes.
Bye-bye Dan, bye-bye Winton,
yeah.
Bye-bye Strata.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last deck profile, so y'all know Garganoid's Gaze gets rid of all the important heroes at the moment. So this is still set 1 of cards and stuff, so we don't even know what's coming. But right now, if you're playing Darkus, you might as well play at least 2 of those.
So then we have 3 Cloak and Shadow.
Yeah.
As he said, 1/1/1.
Yeah.
The +3 damage goes a long way.
It does help. Normally if I win, or like if it's one of those situations where the opponent rolls and misses and you open with this deck and you have that in your hand, I always play it because I need that extra damage.
Yeah. We're gonna round out the Darkest action cards at 3 Stoneskin.
Stoneskin's great.
So if your B wasn't high enough.
Yeah, if all the big B I have didn't work, Stoneskin is always there to help.
So 4 Evos, we're going to play a split Trox lineup, 2 Diamond Trox, and 1 Titan Trox.
Right. And Diamond Trox is like one of those debatable ones, you know? It's just annoying because the Diamond rule, like, I can't put this Titan Trox later on top of the Diamond Trox, so it's kind of annoying. And usually I do, in fact, run into that first because obviously I'm playing 2 more. But just the energize abilities on both of these. So Victor, Diamond Trox gives you 1 energy. You can't even see. Sorry, I didn't even look at the camera. Yeah, there, come on. Come on, camera. Anyway, y'all know what this does. Here, let me do the little click. There you go. All right, so anyway, if you win the battle, so Victor effect triggers, and you do get to energize 1 energy with that Trox, and then the Titan Trox, you get 2. So, and I mean, the B power goes up to 700 here, and then 1,000 here. So it's relative to your situation. Late game, obviously, go for your Titan Trox. Early game, if you need the Evo, play the Diamond Trox.
So then, some more Trox. We're gonna play 3 Hyper Darkus Trox.
Right.
One thing about this is that although there's not a whole lot of card draw, you have the ability to win the majority of your fights or disrupt your opponent. Right. So you can disrupt on damage, but you can also use the Trox to disrupt on cards in hand.
Yeah.
So play this on 3, and your opponent's now down a card to win a battle.
Yeah, and I mean, he goes up to 900B too, which is pretty good for Trox. He starts out at 700, so it only goes up a little bit, but that little bit does count. And we have some pretty powerful cores here that can help you out as well. So you're sitting okay with the Hyper Trox there.
So for the last of the Evos, we are playing 3 Hyper Mantinoid Ultra.
Yes, and this is really the big beat stick of the deck because he goes up to 1000 B, which is, you know, a good range for you to actually win a lot of fights and stuff. But his ability, if you don't know yet, this is probably, I would venture to say, the best Ventus Bakugan as of now, but just because of that ability. For each energy card that you have, he gets an attack stat. So this is Ventus's way of beating Pyrus. And then it's also just, you know, you're playing Ventus, so you're using your turn energy, you're using all those things to up your energy count, and that is how Hyper Mantinoid does a lot of damage. Talking late game, 14, 15 maybe. So he is a very valuable Bakugan to have on your team.
So on to heroes. You have the what I consider the core of the deck in Winton.
Yeah, core of any Ventus deck.
Yeah, but this deck is slow enough to get to 15.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times with this deck. Winton, if you get 2 Winton out, you're cranking it. Obviously, you got turn to energy, and then you're just buffing up your Hyper Mantinoid every turn with that. Nice thing about Winton though is like if you're in a tight spot and you don't want to energize every turn or something, you have some pretty relatively easily opening Bakugan here. Instead of it's chunky Bakugan. Instead of wasting a card in your hand for energy, you know you have Winton to get the energy that turn, so you can, you know, spare your hand a little bit when you have Winton.
The next card is what I like to call the fun of in the deck. There we play a one of Magnus.
Yeah. Since we are putting so much energy out with this deck, Magnus isn't.
I don't know if I got it to focus
too far away. Oh, don't worry about it. But Magnus is cool. It's when you play this. When you play this, a Bakugan gets 5,000 B. So it's pretty crazy. But then his constant effect is a Victor effect, which says you may discard a card to give a Bakugan damage equal to the card's energy cost. So, and that's always available to you while he's out on the field. So it's interesting. I'll be completely honest with you. I have not played this card while playing this deck yet. So
this is why we call it a fun of.
Right. So it's in there. I use it for energy most of the time. But he's there. I mean, Magnus is good if you can get him out. So there.
On to the flips. This one is one of the more flip heavy decks. So you will play 3 Pact of Darkness.
Yep.
The obvious good one.
Yep. Pact is the best. We talked about it in the last video, so if you don't know, go check it out.
3 Tiger Reflex.
Yeah, so we didn't get to talk about this one yet, and don't mind these awful proxies, but
Hey,
Tiger Reflex.
that's all I had.
Hey, you know, it's whatever. Tiger Reflex, it's a 4-cost flip, but it's one of the good ones because it can make itself free, because if you have the most energy in play, this card is free. So you flip it, you don't have to do anything. Literally, if you have the most energy, it stops the attack from a non-Ventus Bakugan.
Then we rounded off with 2 Ventus power.
Yeah, so just, you know, a 4-cost. We have a lot of energy in this deck. If I hit this, I get to draw a card after 2. Helps my hand out a little bit. So, yeah, so a little more heavy on the flips than what we've been building recently. But it worked out. This is the deck I've been playing with. I've been playing with this deck for like a week now. I like it a lot. I played it in the tournament, and it's not focused at all. Hold on, there you go. But I had a lot of fun with it. I recommend trying it out. I think the Darkus Trox is probably the most interchangeable out of the team. Maybe if you need more power, go with the Ultra Hydrus Darkus, maybe. Something else, I don't know. The Bakugan are pretty interchangeable besides Mantinoid here. He's too good not to play at this point in the game. But Trox is great, so why would you ever leave Trox, right? Change me out. And Trox memes are great. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. This was our second one. If these are the 2 that people requested, so I'm putting these out. If you want more from what you see in the tournament, tell us. But these were the 2 better ones that are crafted, in our opinion. So we wanted to bring these to y'all, and y'all asked for them too. So anyway, like and subscribe. Check out the Matrix mats. They're down in the description. They're very nice. They look very good. And
Look much pretty.
look much pretty. And Patreon's down in the description too. If you want to go check that out, help us out. That helps us make the Matrix mats, buy the cards, all that stuff, so that we can keep bringing y'all this cool content. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Keep watching the tournament. The finals should be coming soon after this, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, see y'all later. Bye.